Hello and welcome back to the channel. So there are times when I'm compelled to not post something. And in this case, I gave up on this video about a month ago when my computer was having issue, the video file corrupted, and the audio was all out of sync. It was a nightmare. So I stopped working on it. I put the script in the bin and I said, okay, maybe another day. And that day is today because I am very excited to discuss, of course, the new discoveries about the Giza Plateau and some other theories surrounding the pyramids and how they might give us a deeper, more full understanding of our history. So let's get into it. Here are 10 myths about the Giza pyramids. First myth is that the pyramids were granaries built by Joseph. Yes. Joseph from the Bible, the one with the Technicolor dream coat. Supporting evidence for this myth is derived from early Judeo-Christian traditions attempting to reconcile the biblical narratives with monumental Egyptian structures that had long captured the imagination of the ancient and medieval world. Medieval travelers and scholars, such as the renowned Jewish explorer Benjamin of Tudela, were particularly intrigued by the possibility of linking these imposing monuments to figures and events described in the sacred scriptures. These scholars sometimes propose that the pyramids had served practical purposes related to biblical personages, most notably the granaries said to have been built by the patriarch Joseph during a time of famine, as recounted in the book of Genesis. By associating the pyramids with such revered biblical figures and events, these early explanations aimed to make sense of the awe-inspiring monuments that had been observed and documented by the growing number of travelers and pilgrims making their way to Egypt. Through these creative attempts to harmonize the physical evidence with the textual accounts, the Judeo-Christian traditions sought to reconcile the monumental Egyptian structures with the historical narratives contained in their sacred writings. Refuting evidence for this myth of the pyramids as granaries built by Joseph is well documented through extensive archaeological research. Investigations and architectural analysis of the pyramid structures, particularly those at Giza, have clearly revealed that their internal designs and features are specific to their use as elaborate burial tombs. These include the presence of intricate chambers, sarcophagi, and passageways that are associated with funerary rites and rituals. Comprehensive excavations conducted by archaeologists over many years have consistently reinforced the evidence that the pyramids were primarily used as tombs for the internment of the deceased rather than serving any practical storage or agricultural functions. There is simply no indication or evidence of the pyramids having been utilized as granaries or for related agricultural storage purposes. The second myth is that the pyramids align with a lost pole or axis shift. Supporters of this intriguing myth suggest that the orientation of the Egyptian pyramids, notably those at Giza, provides evidence of an ancient shift in Earth's axis or a dramatically different geographical pole position in prehistoric times. Advocates point to perceived anomalies in the alignment of not only Egyptian monuments, but also various ancient structures worldwide, proposing that these misalignments as indirect but suggestive evidence of a past global geophysical event. Authors such as Flem-Ath and Wilson have popularized this idea, theorizing that the pyramid's precise orientation reflects the ancient builders' attempt to align their monuments with significantly different geographic pole locations. These theorists contend that if the pyramid were indeed constructed based upon an older pole position, it would imply a highly advanced astronomical understanding among ancient civilizations, suggesting that their monuments could serve as some kind of historical records or markers of significant prehistory planetary events. The alignment anomalies observed across diverse global sites when viewed collectively fueled speculation regarding the possibility of a sudden pole shift that could have dramatically reshaped ancient geography and influenced monument placement. Enthusiasts find this explanation compelling as it proposes a unified global catastrophe scenario linking geographically dispersed ancient civilizations through shared responses to such an extraordinary event. Refuting evidence emphasizes precise geophysical analysis. The Giza pyramids exhibit remarkable precision aligned with the current true north, with only minor deviations consistent with the capabilities of ancient surviving tools. Furthermore, geological studies have found no evidence of any rapid axial shift coinciding with the pyramid building era, discrediting theories of dramatic Earth axis repositioning at the time. Number 3, the pyramid contains a hidden hall of records. So, supporting evidence claims for a hidden hall of records beneath the Egyptian Sphinx or nearby pyramids rely predominantly on the early 20th century physicist Edgar Cayce. Cayce prophesied that ancient documents, potentially from Atlantis or pre-flood civilizations, lay hidden beneath these iconic monuments. His predictions have significantly influenced alternative theories and continue to inspire fascination within the mysteries of ancient Egypt. This enduring theory remains popular among alternative historians and enthusiasts due to its connections with lost civilizations and unsolved historical mysteries. Many adherents interpret ambiguous archaeological findings, such as radar-detected cavities beneath the Giza plateau, as supporting evidence for the existence of this mythical repository. The romantic appeal and enduring intrigue surrounding lost knowledge perpetuate the popularity of Cayce's vision among a broad audience interested in ancient Egypt. Refutation comes from extensive scientific research and archaeological investigation conducted by the Egyptian Antiquities Authority. Ground-penetrating radar and excavations near the Giza Plateau and the Great Sphinx have indeed identified subterranean cavities, but no artifacts, documents, or structures resembling an Atlantean archive or hall of records have been discovered, despite thorough investigation. Number 4, the pyramids hide a pre-dynastic civilization. Supporting arguments for a pre-dynastic civilization constructing the pyramids center around geological studies on weathering patterns, notably on the Great Sphinx, suggesting an older age. Some researchers, such as geologist Robert Scotch, argue erosion patterns indicate the Sphinx and potentially related structures like the pyramids could date back several thousand years earlier than traditionally accepted dynastic chronology. This assertion implies the existence of an advanced, yet lost, civilization preceding known historical records and raising questions about our understanding of human history. Proponents of this theory point to visible evidence of significant water erosion on the Sphinx enclosure walls, suggesting exposure to prolonged periods of heavy rainfall inconsistent with the dry climate of Egypt during the dynastic period. Advocates posit that the extensive weathering patterns could only have resulted from conditions lasting several thousand years earlier, possibly around the time of the last ice age. The implications of these findings challenge established Egyptological timelines, contributing to ongoing debates and considerable intrigue regarding the origins and age of these iconic monuments. Refuting evidence stems from rigorous radiocarbon dating and archaeological context, which firmly places the pyramid construction within Egypt's 4th dynasty around 2600 BCE. Quarry marks, artifacts, and mortar dating have conclusively supported the conventional archaeological timeline, and geological weathering theories have faced robust scholarly criticism, suggesting erosion may result from localized environmental factors rather than older dating. And 5. I put this one in here for fun, okay, guys? Don't take me seriously. The pyramids were Ghoul-Hatak landing pads. Okay, so the pyramids are obviously alien landing pads. Like, hello? They are giant, flawless triangles in the middle of the desert, and they're shaped exactly like the ships the Ghoul use. Those big, dramatic Hatak vessels that literally land on top of them. It's kind of rude how obvious it is once you see it. They weren't tombs, my nuanauts. They were parking spots. Ancient ballet for space sirens with glowing eyes and drama issues. The geometry is perfect. The placement strategic, and the vibes absolutely wicked. Daniel Jackson figured this out in the 90s. Total language nerd got laughed out of every university for pointing out the hieroglyphs weren't talking about the afterlife. They were interplanetary gate directions. Fast forward a few years, and suddenly Military intel is acting shady, weird pyramid scans start circulating with half the notes blacked out, gate schematics sketched out in quietly released documents, and shout out to Colonel Jack O'Neill on X, you are a goddamn hero for sharing what you do. Okay, in reality, these are all almost just as ridiculous. Number 6. The pyramids encode a global energy grid. Proponents argue that the Egyptian pyramids form an integral component of a global network or energy grid, aligning precisely with hypothetical ley lines, which are supposed lines of mystical or natural earth energy that span the globe. This theory, popularized by alternative history authors such as John Mitchell, proposes that ancient civilizations deliberately placed monumental structures, including the pyramids, at strategic points of energetic convergence. According to advocates, these alignments were intentional, serving purposes that range from amplifying natural energy fields and facilitating communication across great distances to potentially harnessing cosmic or planetary energies for unknown, possibly spiritual or technological uses. Supporters often cite the precise geometric placement of the pyramids, particularly their alignment to cardinal directions and celestial bodies, as evidence supporting their integration into such an energy system. Additionally, they highlight supposed correlations between the locations of ancient monuments worldwide, such as Stonehenge, Easter Island statues, and other prominent archaeological sites, as forming part of this extensive global energy grid. This perspective has not only captured the imagination of alternative historians, but continues to fascinate individuals interested in metaphysical and esoteric interpretations of history, fueling ongoing discussions and speculative research into the mysteries of ancient engineering and cosmic connections. Refutations lie on geographic and archaeological analysis, demonstrating the claimed global alignments to be arbitrary and inconsistent upon closer scrutiny. Scientific evaluations consistently show no measurable energetic phenomenon associated with the so-called ley lines, and scholars consider such claims pseudoscientific and unsupported by empirical evidence. And number 7. This is one of my favorites on this list. The pyramids were built with sound or anti-gravity technology. Mythical accounts from various cultures around the world describe phenomena involving levitating stones, suggesting that ancient societies might have employed unique or forgotten methods to move enormous blocks of stone. These legends frequently allude to the use of sound vibrations or acoustic resonance, implying that specific frequencies could counteract gravitational forces. Supporters of this intriguing theory speculate that ancient Egyptians may have mastered sophisticated acoustic or even anti-gravity technologies, enabling them to manipulate and transport massive blocks with remarkable ease and precision without relying on extensive ramps, sledges, or brute force manpower. Advocates of the theory point to curious ancient texts, artwork, and legends, noting that certain symbols, rituals, or inscriptions could represent forgotten acoustic knowledge or technologies. Furthermore, they reference anecdotal experiments in modern acoustic science demonstrating that sound waves at particular frequencies can indeed move or levitate small objects under laboratory conditions. The speculation continues to intrigue enthusiasts, fueling ongoing debates and research into ancient technologies, as people seek to reconcile the impressive precision and monumental scale of the pyramids with the perceived technological limitations of ancient societies. Refuting evidence comes from substantial archaeological discoveries showing practical mechanical means such as ramps, rollers, and sledges used to move heavy stones. Experiments replicating ancient methods confirm feasible stone transportation without speculative technologies. Moreover, no ancient Egyptian textual or archaeological evidence supports the use of acoustic or anti-gravity technologies. Number 8. The pyramid complex was the original hanging gardens of Babylon. Supporters theorize the famed hanging gardens were mistakenly attributed to Babylon and argue these renowned elevated gardens may have in fact originally existed at the Giza plateau in ancient Egypt. This hypothesis is bolstered by evidence of Egypt's highly sophisticated irrigation techniques along the Nile River, which could have facilitated lush, verdant greenery across the plateau. Specifically, the potential implementation of large-scale Archimedes screw-type systems within the pyramid complex to draw water from the Nile and distribute it across tiered terrace gardens. The region's abundant Nile-fed vegetation, as well as historical textual ambiguities regarding the true original location and intended purpose of the legendary hanging gardens, further support this alternative theory. While Babylon has long been associated with these iconic wonders, proponents argue the available evidence may actually point to an Egyptian origin for this marvel of the ancient world. However, archaeological and historical evidence strongly situates the Hanging Gardens in Babylon. Descriptions by ancient historians clearly indicate terrace garden structures unlike anything at Giza, and Neo-Babylonian records confirm the garden's existence and location within Babylon itself, providing no support for an Egyptian origin. And number 9, we're getting into fun ones. The pyramids were the Tower of Babel. Some researchers and alternative historians have put forth the intriguing hypothesis that the pyramids, particularly the iconic Great Pyramid, may have in fact represented the biblical Tower of Babel as described in the book of Genesis. This proposition is primarily based on the immense scale and ambitious architectural design of the pyramids, which some interpret as symbolic human endeavors to reach the heavens, a notion that bears striking similarities to the biblical account of the Tower of Babel. Adding further intrigue to this theory, recent speculative claims have suggested that there may be buried or subterranean structures located beneath the Giza Plateau that could potentially align with descriptions in the biblical narrative of the Tower of Babel being buried or destroyed in the aftermath of an ancient cataclysmic event. These parallels drawn between the pyramid's monumental scale, symbolic aspirations, and potential buried structures have certainly captured the imagination of those seeking to uncover potential links between these iconic ancient structures and the legendary Tower of Babel. Refuting scholarly consensus locates the Tower of Babel clearly within Mesopotamian context, specifically associating it with a ziggurat in Babylon. Archaeological and textual records distinctly differentiate ziggurats from Egyptian pyramids in design, purpose, and cultural origin, making an Egyptian connection highly improbable. And this week, the new myth is that there has been a discovery of a massive underground city beneath Giza. Recent groundbreaking research using SAR Doppler tomography by researchers at the CAFRA project has revealed unprecedented high-resolution structural details within the Great Pyramid of Giza. SAR tomography uses radar signals reflected at varying angles, allowing for precise three-dimensional imaging of otherwise hidden structures. This advanced technique provided remarkable clarity in detecting previously unidentified internal spaces, which include corridors, chambers, and carefully arranged voids. The ability to visualize these internal architectural anomalies with such accuracy not only protects the integrity of the ancient monument, but also significantly enriches our understanding of its complex internal layout. One especially intriguing discovery detailed in their research is the identification of several vertically aligned, previously unknown cavities within the pyramid structure. These cavities are meticulously arranged in geometric configurations, suggesting intentional rather than incidental architectural design. Such precise alignment could indicate an advanced understanding of structural engineering principles or symbolic representations by ancient builders. This challenges long-standing interpretations of the pyramid's internal architecture, raising profound new questions about the true intent behind these hidden features. Further, the study emphasizes the unique capabilities of SAR Doppler tomography compared to traditional archaeological tools like standard ground-penetrating radar. Traditional methods often lack the resolution or depth penetration required to detect subtle internal variations, leading to incomplete or misleading results. In contrast, SAR Doppler tomography successfully penetrated deep within the stone structure, clearly mapping features at a resolution previously unattainable. This technological advancement holds substantial promise for future archaeological exploration, potentially reshaping investigative methodologies across many ancient structures worldwide. Another striking detail from the study was the discovery of horizontal passage-like features and cavities aligned precisely with known external reference points. The existence of these features implies advanced planning, coordination, and possibly even ritualistic or functional significance that has been overlooked in traditional scholarship. This precise alignment, mapped accurately by SAR tomography, suggests the pyramid builders might have encoded their construction with layers of meaning beyond purely structural or funerary purposes, potentially reflective of cosmological alignments, religious symbolism, or sophisticated internal functionality that we don't quite understand yet. Finally, the implications of these radar findings extend beyond Egyptology into broader historical and technological arenas. The researchers' demonstration of SAR tomography's capabilities presents an exciting new frontier in archaeological imaging, indicating that many other ancient monuments worldwide might similarly harbor hidden internal architectures awaiting discovery. Such revelations could profoundly alter our historical narratives, enhance for the engineering genius and symbolic depth of ancient cultures. As scientists further refine these radar techniques and apply them to other archaeological sites, we stand on the cusp of potentially rewriting substantial chapters of human history driven by insights gleaned from this revolutionary technology. Refuting perspectives of this theory emphasize that, given the novelty and recent publication of this radar-based research, further validation through additional studies and physical excavations is going to be crucial. While the findings offer promising new insights, the scholarly community recommends cautious interpretation until independent verification and thorough archaeological examinations confirm the existence, extent, and nature of these intriguing internal features within the Great Pyramid. This concludes our exploration of alternative myths surrounding the Egyptian pyramids, an enduring source of fascination, speculation, and serious inquiry. From biblical reinterpretations and cosmic alignments to subterranean cities and advanced imaging revealing internal anomalies, these myths reflect both the mystery of the pyramids and the vast spectrum of meaning humanity continues to assign to them. Whether viewed through the lens of ancient history, fringe theory, or cutting-edge science, each myth reveals more about our evolving relationship with the past than it does about the stones themselves. As we move forward from the pyramids, some of the recurring ideas we've encountered, particularly those involving sound, resonance, and hidden technologies, will take center stage. These concepts show up across multiple ancient cultures and deserve closer attention on their own terms. While this wraps up our pyramid-specific series, it opens the door to deeper questions about the mechanisms behind the myths, the logic of ancient systems, and how far these ideas may go into reshaping how we interpret the ancient world. So like, subscribe, and ring that bell like the winners you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye!